Well, hello again, my weary traveler. Once again, this is your fitness captain speaking. Hope everybody's feeling good. Come over here, my weary traveler. Take your coat off, grab a stool or chair, warm yourself by the fire. Join me, will you? Stay with me for a while as I give you another story and my deep research, approximation, evaluation, investigation, analysis, and discussion on the all-important subject, you know what I'm about to say, the SSP, the Secret Space Program, friends and fans, because again, the depth and breadth of this Secret Space Program, the massiveness, it's just incredible, friends and fans. And I know on other videos I've been trying to give you guys and gals an in-depth examination of this and of the UFO phenomenon, this important, crucial subject, friends and fans. I still think it is one of the most important, if not the most important subject of our times, friends and fans. If for no other reason, as I've said before, we need to get our hands on that anti-gravity. It's our rite of passage, friends and fans, this revolutionary non-plutonium physics. It's going to improve this world in positive ways that we can't even comprehend right now, friends and fans, so many ways. But we have to start with intelligent conversation. We need transparency on this issue, and we really need transparency in our world, friends and fans. Join me so we can get that transparency out together, because as I've always said, it's a vital exercise in our world today, isn't it, friends and fans? Because again, you can't trust corporate media to tell us the truth. You get a very narrow scope of the truth from the narrative with the greedy corporate news. You've got to go to alternative media sites, I always say, friends and fans. Pick out good researchers. Read books on this subject, friends and fans. That's what I try to do, okay? So again, I've always said this is a very multifaceted, complex subject with a lot of moving parts, right? I mean, I get that. But friends and fans, it's so crucial because, again, we do have breakaway civilizations going off-world to the moon and Mars. I got to say that with a smile, friends and fans. I know it sounds wild, but if you research the subject, you realize this has been going on for decades, friends and fans. And hi, let me just give you a quick overview, friends and fans. You might be thinking, what is a breakaway civilization? Now, I didn't coin that phrase. It was coined by a famous author named Richard Dolan, a fairly famous ufologist himself. I don't agree with everything Richard Dolan says, but he does come out with a lot of great stuff and a lot of truths. And Richard Dolan coined that phrase, and I really think it's applicable. And Joseph P. Farrell, my other favorite researcher, has sort of rolled with that definition from Richard Dolan, as he says, and sort of made his own interpretation of it. Now, I'm going to break it down myself, friends and fans, and roll with it as well, and double down on and tell you what I think breakaway civilization is. And we have plural. We actually have breakaway civilizations. These are the elitists, the financial cabal within the military-industrial complex largely, and the intel agencies, okay? These covert, nefarious military groups are going off-world, no question about it. And I believe they're taking a lot of kids, some adults as well, but literally hundreds of thousands of kids and adults to Mars in particular right now with slave labor, terraforming these planets. And we know this from the likes of Billy Carson. This is a man who is not a whistleblower. This guy's a hardcore space insider. I've told you before, his company is called First Class Space Agency, all right? They research, free energy devices, etc. He knows we've had anti-gravity for decades and decades. And as I've told you, friends and fans, we've been obfuscated from the truth on this amazing free energy, exotic free energy for 60 plus years. It's ridiculous, 60 plus years. So again, Billy Carson tells you, friends and fans, that we do have slave labor. And when he speculates on that, you better believe it's based on good reasoning, because this guy is talking to the private space companies, friends and fans. He knows what's going on off-world, okay? So, and I suspected that all along. And we have 8,000, for example, we have 800,000 disappearances in the United States alone. 500,000 people are never seen again, friends and fans. And you better believe they're taking street kids off the street, largely street kids. Some adults go willingly, and other adults, I'm sure, are going unwillingly. I mean, apparently Billy Carson even tells you loved ones have left letters for their loved ones, I should say, in regards to going off planet. I mean, this is happening. So, like doctors, surgeons, because, you know, if you're going to build if you're going to have a breakaway civilization on another planet, friends and fans, and you want some, you know, semblance of a good life, you're going to need bright people like that, doctors, surgeons. I'm telling you, friends and fans, there's major covert production manufacturing going on. So again, what is a breakaway civilization? Well, I say it's a group of humanity that has access to this high pitch of technologies, friends and fans, that I've been talking about, that's not seen in the public specter, okay? And this gives them really a radically different cultural matrix by which they make decisions on how they view the world. And really, I think they probably see, they have a different cosmological viewpoint as well, friends and fans. I mean, if you're going off world, I mean, the things that are happening in space and in our solar system, friends and fans, is remarkable, okay? And not only Moon and Mars, that's mostly where the the bases are. We've got space-based moon bases, space-based Mars bases, but also they've been going, I believe, to Mercury and a few other planets in our solar system. I don't have time to get into some of the circumstantial evidence for that, but friends and fans, and you know what? Don't just take my word for these space-based moon bases and Mars bases. We've had actual people like Carl Wolf, who was high up in NASA in 1965, right? 30 years later in his retirement, just a few years ago, he literally admitted, told the world that he saw man-made structures. Well, he didn't say man-made, but you can assume it's man-made. It's not aliens, friends and fans. He saw structures, towers. You could see satellite dishes. He even described all these different structures. And on Secure Team, if you go to the YouTube channel Secure Team, friends and fans, what do you see? You can see literally the same type of radar antennas and satellite dishes that we have here on Earth. It's incredible. And there's towers like a mile or 2 miles high. Carl Wolf in his retirement said to the world in 1965, as he was working in Langley in the United States there, he had top secret clearance, but he didn't have clearance to see these particular photos. They were their photocopy machine broke down. He explains it all in the technology involved. And so somebody who had top secret clearance in this compartmentalized department actually showed Carl Wolf these amazing photographs. And Carl Wolf was very nervous, because rightly so, because he knew if somebody came in at that moment, he'd be in a lot of trouble. So he didn't even ask more questions, but he looked at the photos. I mean, obviously, it's just amazing. He describes the geometric measurements. I mean, friends and fans, I could go for days on this subject. And it is so important, friends and fans, because it's all about the money, too. You wonder why the West is going to hell in a handbasket. Well, Catherine Austin Fitts, who was a brilliant accountant, who worked under the Bush administration, she had seen billions and trillions of dollars missing under HUD and DOD. She saw billions of dollars missing out, you know, getting stolen, being deciphered out of the housing fraud and everything else. I mean, just amazing how some of these governments, they just suck out the money out of communities, friends. Like, it's almost like a science project. People don't understand the structure of this organization, how they're able to funnel money out of communities like this. So again, friends and fans, it's just incredible. Catherine Austin Fitts had a professor and his students actually help her to get a hard figure of how many trillions of dollars are we talking about that have gone totally off the books. She discovered with the help of those people, $21 trillion. It's been reported around the world now on mainstream media, friends and fans. Although mainstream media, of course, they don't talk about it very often. 21 trillion. And I want you to listen very carefully to the brilliant Catherine Austin Fitts as she describes what's going in our world today with these dark forces, friends and fans, and the money that's going missing. I mean, we've got trillions and trillions of dollars of hardware, UFO technology zipping around, seen by millions of people now. Again, if you go to Secure Team on these YouTube channels, friends and fans, you can see cigar-shaped UFOs all over the place. They're massive flying discs. other shaped craft. I mean, it's just incredible. Not only zipping around, you could see it literally on the moon and Mars. You could see UFOs in craters. Tyler will narrate the videos and tell you and show you, friends and fans. It's just wild. And Tyler gets people from all over the world sending him these videos. Now, I'm talking fast, friends and fans, because I don't have a lot of time. I've got to work shortly. I got to see how much time I got on the video. Well, we're doing all right. So I want you to listen to Catherine Austin Fitts right now, friends and fans, as she speaks about some very important topics, what I'm talking about. Ready? Here we go. Hope you can hear this, Chris.
You know, he did not have, having not been a general, having not been the general.
She's talking about Eisenhower right now, back in the day.
Allowed to go up to Colorado, get the First Army, and invade Area 51. And what was literally happening was you had the most powerful corporations in the world who had found a way to get an infinite amount of government financing off the books, and with it control the most powerful technology in the world.
That's right.
And with that, you had both government finances and secret technology go out of control. And with that, you had the beginnings of the breakaway civilization. And then what happened in the 80s, now remember, we have private corporations with infinite government financing building these secret projects. In the 80s and 90s, we had an explosion of financial fraud.
Explosion of financial fraud.
It's not fraud.
This financial fraud that she's talking about, friends and fans, it is astronomical. I mean, it really is. Just listen carefully. By the way, I meant to say, of course, friends and fans, unfortunately, it isn't necessarily a positively sublime day. It's overcast today, but that's okay. We're going to have a great day. So are you guys. Listen carefully. Here we go.
Fraud and incompetence was a cover
This
story.
fraud's on an industrial
What
scale.
you had was a financial coup d'etat. And my
Financial
estimate,
coup d'etat.
if you look
Here's
at
her
our,
estimate. She's going to throw out some amazing
annual
figures here.
wrap-up that we published in January, we did a roll-up and basically said, look, if you count up all the money that disappeared from...
She's trying to help
the
humanity like me, my
1990s
friends and fans.
until the
Transparency,
bailouts,
that's what it's all
basically
about.
$40 trillion. We laid out all the
Woo!
different...
40 trillion.
Sort of, you know, $4 trillion missing from the federal government, the pump and dump of the stock markets, the various bailouts, quantitative easing. And so I estimate that literally $40 trillion got shifted out of North America.
Unreal.
That's not counting what may have gotten shifted out of the developed world in Europe. Right.
And this money, friends and fans, excuse me, is going largely, we know, to the black covert projects, okay? We've got a significant off the main path black budget world, friends and fans, developing amazing exotic spacecraft. Again, there's a lot of great military folks, friends and fans, and good people as well in the intel agencies. And I believe some of the good people, hopefully, or many of them, they want this technology to come out. But it's being held back by greedy people, friends and fans. Greedy, a lot of it's withheld in the corporate power, the corporations, especially the private contractors, friends and fans. You see, a lot of this information is buried within the private contractors, okay? It's not within your regular government, okay? So again, certain nefarious groups in the military, in charge of the UFO technology, unfortunately, they don't want to let go of their fundamental income. It's all about greed, and they don't want to let go of the enslavement of the human race. And Billy Carson tells you that, the man who owns his own space company. Sorry, here we go, friends and fans. Continuing on.
And when you take those pots of money, essentially what you're saying is a decision was made as
Gotta
a
smile.
society, rather than pay for nursing homes, we're going to take the money and we're
Now
going
this
to
is
build a new
serious.
high-tech civilization, including doing what I believe is
Instead of
tremendous
nursing homes.
amounts of
Jeez.
things in space. Another way to look at that money is to say, okay, you know, if I stole $40 trillion, put it in
evil.
endowment, I would have enough money.
What's going on?
You know, at a 5% interest to finance a world government on a private basis.
That's right. This cover-up, friends and fans, again, on this amazing free energy. And there's other free energies as well, but the main one is the anti-gravity. That's the primo exotic technology, friends and fans, that they have been covering up largely, trying to, for 60 plus years, friends and fans. But we know it's there. I mean, I've got a book, friends and fans, on the secrets of anti-gravity, okay? I've shown you before, this is such an amazing book. The only thing I disagree with this guy in the book, I mean, he has to get okayed by the government to write this book. he doesn't talk about how the brilliant American scientists were working with the Nazis to conquer anti-gravity, because the American scientists knew that the Nazis started with a primitive anti-gravity and amazing other covert production in Nazi Germany, right, in the 1930s, like the De Glock project, which was a type of anti-gravity, I believe. So this is the secrets of anti-gravity propulsion, Tesla, UFOs, and classified aerospace technology. This is where the hard-earned taxpayers' money, largely the United States, goes to, friends and fans. And China and Japan, Russia, they're also contributing to, I believe, the breakaway civilizations, friends and fans. Those powerful countries they're moving, again, vast military assets off-world. No question about it. Here we go.
Really? So to me, what you're watching is the leverage buyout of the planet, or another way to say it is you're looking at the re-engineering of the global governance.
The re-engineering of the global government.
That's
one way to say it.
Before we talk about solutions, we need to talk about, well, who's really running this and why are they behaving the way they're behaving?
Exactly.
I'll give you a perfect example. For many years, I tried to document money that was going missing from the federal government between fiscal 1998 and fiscal 2002. $4 trillion went missing. I'm sure you remember. Yeah. The day before 9/11, Don Rumsfeld stood up and admitted that
I remember this.
had gone missing at the Department of Defense. The year before, which is more than all the taxes that individual Americans paid that year.
Incredible.
Much more than the Department of Defense.
Isn't that astounding, friends? What?
Losing 100% of your budget for the year.
Jeez.
So,
getting dumped in the military-industrial complex, friends and fans.
It was just an accounting mistake that were accounted for.
Yeah, right.
Did you hear that?
Well,
Counting
imagine
mistake.
Imagine if your bank said,
This is
Mr.
good.
Pilgrim, we're missing, we're missing more than 100% of your revenues. We're missing more
Imagine
than 1
that,
year
huh?
income from your bank account. But don't worry, just write something that says an undocumentable adjustment, and it's really just an accounting problem, and don't worry about it.
By the way, before I forget, friends and fans, I'm reporting this information, letting you listen to a brilliant accountant and a brilliant person named Catherine Austin Fitts. I told you she worked in the Bush administration. And what I'm trying to do, friends and fans, is to educate you guys and gals that may not be aware, again, of the massive secret space program that we have, friends and fans, and what's going on with the private contractors, largely the military-industrial complex in our world today, and how it permeates and affects so many areas of our lives, friends and fans, and where this money is going, okay? And I'm trying to use the Facebook platform respectively, friends and fans, and I'm honored to be able to use this platform as a privilege to try to educate you, friends and fans, and let us get this deep, an in-depth examination of this crucial subject of the secret space program, the SSP, friends and fans. And let's get transparency on this issue, flesh out and explore much more thoroughly about the trillions of dollars going missing and being shifted. And Catherine Austin Fitts is exactly trying to do that, friends and fans, and she's the person. And believe me, the governments went after her hardcore. For over 10 years, they tried to take her to court or try to sue her. They did all kinds of nasty stuff to her. Luckily, she had, a lot of money that the average person does not have at the time. She literally had to spend, I think it was over $6 million to fight the government, maybe even $7 million. I don't know what it was. And they couldn't dig up any dirt on her. She's a woman and person of integrity. We need more people of integrity, friends and fans, and honesty. Here we go. And transparency. And thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, by the way, for letting me use your platform. Here we go.
Under the United States Constitution, it's required under the Constitution.
There's a lot of good Americans, don't get me wrong.
No money be spent unless it's accounted for in a appropriation. So if you have undocumentable adjustments and you can't prove,
We need to fix the
where that
West,
money
big
went
time.
and that it was spent in accordance with an appropriation, you're outside the law.
That's right.
And make no mistake about it, if you're a private corporation or a state and local government, you're operating outside the law. Your banks will not do transactions for you.
Private corporation.
The stock exchange will shut you down. This is very...
And remember, she mentioned private corporations, friends and fans, and this is so important. We're watching the shift from a government program to a private program. right? We're watching the shift, that's the trend, and we're watching basically the assets, right, shifting from the public sphere of government to the private sphere of corporations. And Billy Carson, who owns his own space company, he tells you, friends and fans, that these dark projects, and I've spoken about the dark projects, friends and fans, we have ferocious dark projects, covert operations going on, friends and fans, where they hide in the dark, where prying eyes can't see, and they use the private corporations that are often affiliated and contracted within the military. That way they can hide everything, friends and fans. They can hide the technology, all kinds of stuff, friends and fans, and that's what's going on, okay? And remember, I gave you the flavor, trying to give you flavor of what the Nazis were all about in previous videos, friends and fans. And they were, National Socialists, believing in a multinational corporate state with multinational ruling, right? Well, we see that private corporation, the influence in our world today, friends and fans, controlling so much, and especially when it comes to the space program. Here we go.
Serious business. Okay, so I was very worried about all the money that was going missing.
Yes, she was. I would be too.
I'll never forget when I first saw the documentary on the Phoenix Lights, which was about a giant UFO that floated down the side of Arizona.
I'm sure many of you guys had heard this and seen this on mainstream media, even covered that big, huge black triangle back then. It's massive, gigantic.
The governor had to have a press conference.
By the way, friends and fans, this black triangle that she's talking about, those are usually the TR-3B, they call it, those 600-foot black triangles, and they probably cost quite a few billions of dollars. They've been seen literally all over the world. We had the Belgium flap as well in the 1990s. She doesn't talk about that. She's talking about the one that was seen in Utah, okay, by a lot of eyewitnesses. Well, they've been seen in space, these black triangles, friends and fans, and literally you could see them in certain videos, literally off in the distance in the skies on Mars. It's incredible. Now, the resolution isn't great. NASA always brings down the resolution almost every time in photos, but you could still see it. You could see these black triangles literally hovering all over the moon, above the moon's surface, and certain photos you could see what looks like black triangles hidden on the surface, like in craters and stuff. I mean, it's incredible. And of course, your typical flying saucer discs and cigar-shaped craft. Sorry, here we go.
But I'll never forget seeing the first films of that giant thing, whatever it was, and saying, oh, that's where that $4 trillion went. I bet you Lockheed Martin would charge $4 trillion.
Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, friends and fans. We're going to do videos talking more about Lockheed Martin, the biggest military defense contractor really in the United States. They got their fingers in everything. Tentacles everywhere, friends and fans. And Lockheed Martin, they're doing great work, don't get me wrong. Obviously, they've made amazing revolutionary progress in a lot of areas. And again, it started largely with the Nazis, especially working with the electrogravitics, the anti-gravity, as I mentioned earlier. But Lockheed Martin, friends and fans, you got to keep in mind, Catherine Austin Fitts has even said in interviews many times, I think, that Lockheed Martin were denying her the records that she was supposed to get from HUD and DOD. Okay, for example, again, Lockheed Martin was, again, in those instances, they weren't providing the necessary transparency to do with the money and what's going on in our world. So there's a lot of cover-up and a lot of hiding from these huge corporations, friends and fans. Anyway, let's go on here. Oh, one more thing, friends and fans. With Lockheed Martin, I challenged the elitists out there to let me see the UFO technology one day. I want to go on skiffs, these specialized, compartmentalized programs, and see for myself this technology. That's my dream, friends and fans. Because you know what Lockheed Martin did? They allowed a burned-out rock star in Tom DeLonge. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but Tom DeLonge, come on. The guy who used to do cocaine and, he was for Blink-182, the rock band, right? They've allowed him to go on skiffs. Even Tom DeLonge bragged about it. He gets to see certain projects. He won't get to see everything, of course. He's not going to be able to be allowed, I don't think, to see the UFO discs. But I'm sure he saw a lot of their amazing exotic jet planes, the stealth aircraft up close. He tells you he was allowed to go on these skiffs because Tom DeLonge started that company with Luis Elizondo and the other CIA cronies, these other guys, called To the Stars Academy, right? The TSSA, we call it, To the Stars Academy. This ridiculous marketing scheme, a total CIA operation, Intel PSYOP. And we'll get more into about that company on another video, friends and fans. I've spoken about it before briefly. Here we go.
And that's why
So I'm a little jealous of Tom DeLonge is what I'm trying to say. If Lockheed Martin are going to allow a guy like Tom DeLonge to go on skiffs at Lockheed Martin, they should allow me with my research and investigation trying to help out humanity. That's all I'm saying.
To the sky. The first thing that occurred to me was, wait a minute, how much money would it cost to build those, you know? How much money does it cost to have something that has free energy and
That's right.
anti-field,
A couple more minutes, friends and fans.
propulsion and anti-gravity?
Thanks for your patience. I hope you're listening, friends and
How much
fans.
would that be? If a jet fighter costs $65 million, could we build
It would
that
probably
for
cost a couple
$600
billion
million?
for these triangles, I'm sure.
You know, count it all up and say, well, wait a minute, is there any connection between that and all the money that keeps disappearing? You know, and yeah, I mean, everything in this universe at some point, you know, can be brought down to the mathematics of time and money.
Time and money.
You know, whether it was made here or it was made someplace else.
Okay, friends and fans, thanks for listening. We're going to play more, hopefully, God willing, in the future on that, okay? This is very, very important what Catherine Ostafitz has to say. This woman, again, is trying to help humanity. Same with the likes of Joseph P. Farrell, a ferocious researcher, as I describe, and a great guy. And we got guys like Billy Carson, who's got almost 1 million followers on Instagram and Facebook, who's also trying to help humanity. Joseph P. Farrell has a lot of followers as well, friends and fans. And I'm just thankful that I'm able to pursue their research, friends and fans, and do my own research investigation. As I always say, friends and fans, I find research and investigation enticing, invigorating, and hopefully you guys as well, okay? So I'm not just a fitness captain. I like to think I do have a broad mind, and I'm trying to research this very crucial subject, friends and fans, and get the truth out. Ultimately, we want to open the doors for the truth, friends and fans. I always say truth could be a perilous path. It requires constant assessment, right? It can feel like, you know, you're on the buzzsaw, you know? It's a delicate balance, but we've got to get the truth out, and we can do it. We can make that societal shift, friends and fans, but it starts with creative, intelligent conversation, as I say, and get that transparency, friends and fans, and then we can make a societal shift and get this anti-gravity for ourselves, because there's no doubt about it. The military are nervous. They know that we're getting close to getting this anti-gravity. They know they can't hold it back, I don't think, much longer, friends and fans. 60 plus years. That's just egregious, friends, and disgraceful, and it's treason. And again, there's a lot of great military folks, and people even in the deep state, the shadow government, the intel agencies, but certain people that have obfuscated us from the truth on this for 60 plus years. I mean, 60 plus years? Are you kidding me? That means they literally had decades for us, as I always say, to have that technology for ourselves, to get it grounded in control, get that cohesive cultural the cultural cohesiveness to get the laws in place, because this technology ultimately, friends and fans, again, it's going to be amazing for this world. We're not going to have to rely on sticky oil and gas. We're certainly not going to be exploding rockets either in the atmosphere, destroying our ionosphere. We're going to get the energy from the ether of space, the zero-point energy, friends and fans. No more hydro bills. You talk about a whole different paradigm of transportation. It's going to be remarkable. Not to mention just being able to soar around our solar system and get to the moon and Mars in no time, within days. I mean, come on. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, got to go, friends and fans. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and more videos to come. Take care. And remember, live that healthy lifestyle, friends and fans, okay? I'm trying to inspire your passion and ignite your intellectual curiosity as well. See ya. Let's get the truth.